So I figured I should probably make a video talking about my retro setup and everything I have for it. So I had to clear a bunch of storage on my phone to do that first. Uh, Clear a bunch of photos and videos. Anyway, let's get right on into it. So my retro setup started in January of 2023. It was when I got my VCR, my DVD VCR combo player. I had it, that was it for a while. And by a while, I mean till August of 2023, when I gotta unplug it, my NES top loader. For those of you who don't know, the NES top loader was released after the Super Nintendo. We'll get to that later, but it is an NES. It was redesigned to look more like the Super Nintendo. It is the definitive version of the NES, and I am so glad I got this because it is way more reliable than the regular NES. And yeah, I'm fine that it doesn't have AV, as I'm someone who kind of likes to use RF, but still. Yeah. And it did come with two controllers, two of these controllers, the original controllers, not the dog bone controllers. I don't really mind though. Although these smell like cigarettes. My console smelled like cigarettes at first for a while too, but it doesn't really anymore. Yeah, I don't smell anything, but these still smell like cigarettes. I didn't check the eBay description before buying it. This was when I was stupid. Well, more stupid. I'm less stupid now. So I'll plug it back in, and I'll show you what I got for it. If I can find the ports to plug it in. There. Where is it? God, these ports are annoying. There. It's plugged in again. But I should also mention I got a CRT TV around the same time as well, and the Entertainment Center as well, both for free. And the NES top loader, I should mention, was a bit of an impulse buy. I saw it off eBay for 160 bucks. I was like, I'm buying it. And at that time, I didn't have a debit card either. But yeah. Then I got, like a week after getting my NES top loader and setting it all up, I got Super Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt combination cartridge. And with it, I got, not with it, but much later, like, over a month later, I got an aftermarket Zapper. And by the way, there are two controllers for my NES. I just only have one next to my NES top loader. But yeah. Anyway, my retro setup stayed with my NES top loader and this for a while. And by a while, I mean about a year and a quarter. Until November of 2024. My cousin had asked me, wait, no, this was October. It was either October or early November. I can't remember. No, it was October. Yeah, it was October. My cousin asked my dad if I was interested in retro game stuff. I was like, what is he talking about? Well, turns out he was talking about Super Nintendo. It has the piss yellow on it, but I don't really care. It functions. It's great. And it was free. That's probably the best part about this. It was free. And I later asked my cousin how he got a Super Nintendo, because he does not seem like the kind of person who would be interested in retro gaming stuff. And basically, here's what he told me. He works for his dad, and his dad is a very huge businessman. I think his dad's probably a multi-millionaire. At the very least, he's a millionaire. But like, apparently his dad bought a trailer house to use for its frame for something. I'm not an architectural person or anything like that, so I don't know what he needed it for. But he bought a trailer house for the frame, and his son, my cousin, was working for him, and was working on tearing down the house. Inside, he found a Super Nintendo with one controller, the hookup cable, Super Mario World, no power supply. He brought it home because he was like, well, I can take anything from here. Because his dad was like, take whatever you want if you want anything. So he took it home and that was a bit of voice crack there. He bought an AC adapter for it. And he was playing it for a while, and eventually he realized I don't really need this, so then he asked my dad if I wanted it, and I was like, yes. So I've been the proud owner of a Super Nintendo since. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Especially because it's the Super Nintendo Model 1. I don't know if that's what it's actually called. I call it the Model 1 because there's the Model 2. The Junior. And the Junior is not very popular, so yeah, I'm glad I didn't get the Junior. But like, it didn't have an RF cable, and I like RF, so then I went to a store, got an RF cable for $3 as well. And I ordered some screwdrivers off Amazon specifically for retro consoles. So I have screwdrivers for me to work on these myself, and I'm glad. If you're into retro gaming, get some screwdrivers like this. They're called Game Bit screwdrivers. Thank me later. And that's how my retro setup stayed for a while until, stayed that way until, what day was it? Oh yeah, May of 2025, when my mom and I were taking a trip down to South Dakota. And I told her to look on Facebook Marketplace for a Nintendo 64, as whenever I looked on Facebook Marketplace for an N64 before then, it would always come up with like the South Dakota, southern Minnesota area. And she found one for $50. And I was driving, I couldn't find it. But like, while we were driving, she looked up and found one. And I'll grab it, it's right here. It was in southern Minnesota, and so we were like, okay, we're gonna do an hour-long detour on the way back home. Yeah, it was a long detour. It felt long, especially because we weren't taking the interstate back home. It was long. But I am now the proud owner of an N64. It was worth it. Especially because it was $50. And it came with Quake 1 and Quake 2. I sold those cartridges to one of my online friends for $40 total. Meaning, I got this for just $10. And then I ordered Super Mario 64 off eBay. And I ordered an RF adapter with an RF cable because I like RF. I'm the only one who does. But I like RF. And getting the N64 kind of got me back into retro gaming. So, it's a problem. Yeah, not really. But then I also got at some point, I can't remember when, but like in between now and the N64, I got a NES Zapper, an official one, not an aftermarket one. And this is much better, I much prefer it. Then I ordered the controller pack and the Rumble pack for the N64 as well. And since I sold my copies of Quake and Quake 2, these are pointless for me to have. But I'll get more games eventually that'll use them. But it's nice to have them now. And here's I didn't show the controller, by the way. Yeah. But I got kind of back into a retro gaming thing. And so I ordered Zelda 1, Zelda 2, and Super Mario Bros. 3 off eBay as well. Super Mario Bros. 3, I literally am holding it in my hands today as the first time. I've never, because I had it shipped to my dad's, and I haven't been at my dad's for a couple weeks, so yeah. But then next thing that happened was, the day I was taking my driver's test the second time, as I failed the first time. But the day we went to a thrift store nearby. It's one of my favorite thrift stores because I always find something cheap there, incredibly cheap. And I walked in there with my mom, and my cousin and my brother were meeting up with us. And as I was walking in, I was like, I wonder if they have a GameCube, as I've been here before, and they've had a GameCube there before. They had a GameCube. It's funny, because I was thinking, I wonder if they do. And so it's like, I saw it there, I was like, holy shit, they actually have one here. And I was like, I think today I'm gonna walk out of here with a GameCube. And so, talked it over with my mom, and I bought it. Came with the hookups, obviously, and a controller. Now, this is not an official controller. It's an aftermarket one. You can tell by the lack of a logo on here. I do not like that, and I would just get a Super Smash Brothers one or something. But, like, I'm starting to think those aren't produced anymore because I can't find any new listings, and on Amazon they're like $80. So I'm starting to think they might have stopped producing them. Yeah, it came with a memory card, which is nice, the console itself, the controller, and so I was like, man, can't wait to start getting games for it. It is so cool to have this. Like, finally have a GameCube, as I've been wanting. The GameCube was actually almost the first retro console I got. It wasn't, and I'll explain why. Basically, in the summer of 2023, when I was really getting into retro gaming, my mom found a Facebook Marketplace listing for a GameCube that was like $100 or something, however much it was. And we were going to go get it, but it was sold before we could. Second time was after I was out of retro gaming. At the thrift store, the first time I went to the thrift store where I got this at, I saw a GameCube there. I didn't get it, but it was just cool to see it in person. But, yeah, I waited for a while because of the fact that the GameCube game prices fluctuate so much in price. Like, Super Mario Sunshine was, like, at one point $80, $60, $40, $20. They fluctuate so much that literally one day it'll be $20, the next day it'll be $40. Literally, the next day. But with the Switch Online service for Switch 2, having GameCube games, it's gonna probably, like, they've gone down in price, and I think it's because of that, partially. But, like, they were so freaking expensive because a lot of them have never been re-released. They're great games. People who grew up with it are starting to get to the point where they want to experience the nostalgia again. And the GameCube didn't sell well. But anyway, as I was fiddling around with my new GameCube in the car, I opened up my disc tray to see there was a game left in it. Simpsons Hit and Run. It was no case, but just the disc itself. Simpsons Hit and Run. And I'm really glad, because, like, I got something to do for at least a little bit after I got my GameCube. I didn't have much time to play it, because I have my retro setup at my dad's, and I only go there every few weeks, or every other week, and so, yeah, it was really hard for me to, like, because then I brought my GameCube to my dad's, and then we went on a trip for the weekend, so I didn't get to play it during that weekend, and then next weekend I was on another trip, so it's been a while since I've seen my GameCube. But, yeah, and I got a CD case at a thrift store. I'm gonna sell this off eBay, because I don't really need it, and it's like $50 loose is what I could go for, and I paid $80 for this, meaning I got my GameCube for $30. Yeah, that's what's awesome. This is the model without the high-speed port 2 right here, as you can see, but it does have the component cable port and the removable jewel on the top. Ugh, this friggin' button. But, like, the jewel on top here is removable. Like, I don't really care about high-speed port 2. It was never even used. So this button, it'll stick sometimes, and I don't like that, and I don't know how to stop that from sticking. I don't know. But, yeah. I have a GameCube, and, when I was on the trip to different, when I was on the trip after I got my GameCube. One of the trips, whatever. I was in Wisconsin Dells. But I went on eBay and I ordered this, Super Mario Sunshine. And, man, I've played a bit of it so far now, like maybe half an hour worth. It is definitely unbalanced difficulty. It's, I can see why it's polarizing, or why it's a very polarizing game. But also, on that same trip, stopped at a retro game store and found the NES Advantage. This is cool. I like it. Where to put all these? Because, like, I don't really have room for all of these, if you can't tell. But I've been spending way too much money recently, so I gotta cut back on spending with, like, my retro game stuff. So I am content with my complete NES collection. My one Super Nintendo game, my one N64 game, and my one GameCube game. I'm content with it for now. I want more, but I'm content. I'm actually going to build a shelf to hold like a bunch of my stuff, including my controllers, my game cartridges, my VHS tapes. Because I do have stuff behind my VHS tapes, including a retro throwback Atari console that my dad got like 8 or 9 years ago. Yeah, I need to build the shelf. I need to get the wood first, though. And so, yeah, I'm gonna try and figure out how I can put all this in my entertainment center here and have it close or something. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna list this off eBay. Because I don't need it. $50 is what, well, I listed for $54 because that's a little bit more than what it goes for. It's a little bit more than what it goes for normally, so I'll list that and select best offer. But like, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't really need it. I was gonna initially list it on Facebook Marketplace free. I don't need it until I saw how much they go for, and I was like, holy crap. Yeah, I'm selling it off eBay. And I've never sold on eBay before, so yeah, this is going to be my first time. But, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm really happy to talk about my retro setup. And recently I've been talking more about computers and my laptop and upgrading the parts on my laptop. So imagine for people who watch my videos, if there's any of you, me talking about retro game stuff might have been a nice little break. But, yeah. Let me wrap up my NES top load, or my NES Advantage cord, and figure out where to put this. There's literally no room besides going on top of my GameCube. I need a shelf so badly, but it does close, and everything goes in it.